Just a reminder, you can always call in and join the conversation here. The number is 1-877-NEWSMAX, 1-877-639-7629. For more on the story, we're pleased to be joined again by former Illinois Congressman Michael Patrick Flanagan. Today, Michael is the president of Flanagan Consulting, and rejoining us is retired U.S. Army Colonel Patrick Murray. Colonel Murray, as we mentioned, served in Iraq, Russia, and at the UN. Thanks for joining the conversation. Thanks for being with us. Mr. Flanagan, it's great to have you with us. Hillary Clinton today talked about Trump's economic plans. Here is a bit of what she had to say. Let's take a listen.
Every day we see how reckless and careless Trump is. He's proud of it. Well, that's his choice. Except when he's asking to be our president. Then it's our choice. Just like he shouldn't have his finger on the button, he shouldn't have his hands on our economy. He's written a lot of books about business. They all seem to end at Chapter 11.
All right, well, the Chapter 11 line got some applause from the crowd there, but Congressman Flanagan, will this have any impact, Hillary Clinton, the way she's hitting Donald Trump? Will it sway anyone's mind?
She's had her hand in the pocket of the public for years. Then she's had her hand in the pocket of rogue states to give her foundation money. And she's had her hand in the pocket of anyone who will stand still long enough and let her pick it. She's a thief. And her ability to fully comprehend what it takes to run a business or manage an economy is not in evidence with her at all. I don't see where she has any ground to stand here other than the clever taglines provided her by late night hosts and her battalion of writers.
A lot of what she is using now for the attack lines in these speeches and on campaign commercials are some of the same lines that have been used by Republicans in the primary. Colonel Murray, does it make any difference to the voters out there who is attacking Donald Trump? Because it certainly didn't matter during the primary.
No, I don't think so, John. Look, what her statement was today was the equivalent of Barack Obama's "you didn't build that." And the fact is that Donald Trump has built a terrific empire, and he's employed tens of thousands of people, and he's been involved in a number of different ventures, and he is a private sector guy, and she has no concept about what that means. She has had just like Congressman Flanagan just said, she's had her hand in the pocket of the public forever, and that's her deal.
Well, Donald Trump, of course, responded today to what Hillary Clinton had to say. He released this video on social media. Here's what he had to say.
Hillary Clinton's only right about one thing. I understand debt and how to handle it. I've made a fortune with debt. But debt for this country is a disaster, and Obama has piled it on, and she's been there watching.
All right, so Donald Trump here talking about how much money he made. Maybe not the best thing to talk about after that financial disclosure form, but not exactly wrong here, is he? Michael.
Well, I tell you, he's not wrong. But, you know, on that financial disclosure thing, I got an idea. If any of the Trumplicans are watching, pay attention to me here. From now until the end of July, Trump should do a 2-for-1 matching out of his own pocket. Put $100 million of your own money into the campaign. Fundraising is not just about spending money on ads. It's about collecting support and having all kinds of people come to you because you're perceived as a winner because you can raise the money. There's a lot more to fundraising than just the cash. Do a 2-for-1 match. You'll have nothing but positive press for the next 6 weeks, and everyone and their brother will be doing the countdown. Are you going to make it to $100 million and having to write the check? You're going to self-fund anyway? Make an announcement and do a big deal out of it. I think it'll be a huge help to you.
Yeah, and there's some discussion today that Trump might do exactly that, match donations up to $2 million. And you're right, it would be a positive sign. We'll see if he does that. Let's welcome in Bruce, who is calling us from the great state of Vermont. Bruce, thanks for calling in. What's your question or comment?
Yeah, my comment is I think Donald Trump is going to be a wonderful president. He knows so many large businessmen. He could change this country, bring in jobs. Just take the pipeline, for instance, that is all bottled up right now. Just bring it down through 1 or 2 states, hit into a major intersection, put a plant right there, have his friends build a new plant. Now we're not all down in Texas where, you get hit with one major storm down there, you screw up the whole amount of fuel that's for the country. yet you have another station that is producing oil and what have you up there, you've still got a way of getting product through the United States, and it's being used out of Canada.
Yeah. Well, there's an energy proposal for Donald Trump. That's interesting. There was something else that happened today, guys, that I want to talk about, too. Tony Perkins, one of the evangelicals who met with Donald Trump today. You know, there's a lot of discussion about Donald Trump courting these evangelicals during the primary. And the question was, what would happen after the primary? Because these folks aren't going to vote for Hillary Clinton. But here's Tony Perkins talking about the appeal of Donald Trump among evangelicals. Let's take a listen.
They want to be with Donald Trump because they see the alternative. They don't completely understand him because he comes from a little bit of a different world, but they identify with him. They identify with him because he has stood up and he has spoken truth and has been attacked. And for the last 7.5 years, evangelicals have been under constant attack by the Obama administration. And quite frankly, they're tired of it. And they're ready for someone who is going to champion their freedom to believe.
Now, with everything that's gone wrong with the Trump campaign over the last couple of weeks, this is a clear case of something that they have done right, courting these evangelical voters. Would you agree, Colonel Murray?
Well, that's exactly right. Look, in the primary, Mr. Trump got the substantial portion of the evangelical vote, even over somebody like Ted Cruz, who was out there going after the evangelical vote. So Mr. Trump's going to get the evangelical vote in the general election. But the bottom line is this: I think this is tied into a little bit of fundraising and a little bit of shoring up some Republican-based support that Mr. Trump himself today was talking about. He said, you know, I need to get some named Republicans to more of them to support me, and I think this is part and parcel of that.
Yeah, he needs more surrogates out there speaking on his behalf. Let's welcome in Ed, who's joining us from Concord, New Hampshire. Ed, how's it going? Or I'm sorry, Concord, North Carolina.
Yeah, there you go.
My bad.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Who am I talking to?
This is John, and you got Colonel Patrick Murray and Michael Patrick Flanagan with us as well.
Okay. They're going to run it after I get through talking.
Well, you're live on TV right now, so go ahead.
I'm not hearing me.
Oh, we apologize. We can hear you, though, loud and clear.
Okay, there he's talking.
Do we still have you, Ed?
Right. We wasn't conquered, we surrendered. Hey, I was in Arkansas, okay, from 1980 to 1986, the Clintons had a whitewater. They had, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Ed. We can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead and make your point, and then we'll move on.
Okay. The Clintons, 1980 to 86, they had condominiums in Arkansas. I lived out there 6 years, and they took the money from them people, closed the condos down, and then they didn't give them the money. And
well,
then Clinton
we're going to have to wrap it up there. We don't have time to relitigate the entire Whitewater process, but I want to give each one, Colonel Murray and Michael Patrick Flanagan, 20 seconds each to wrap up. Your final thoughts, gentlemen. Go ahead, starting with you, Colonel Murray.
Well, look, I think with regard to the evangelicals, that's going to work out just fine for Donald Trump. With regard to who you want to pick for 2016, if you want higher taxes, if you want a stagnant economy, something Barack Obama in 7.5 years has not even had 1/4 of even 3% economic growth. Hillary's his third term. If that's what you're about, a mountain of regulations, then Hillary's your candidate. Otherwise, it's Donald Trump.
Well, unfortunately, we have to wrap it off there. Yeah, some questions about the way Americans really feel about the bottom line. Not feeling too confident right now. Not so sure they want a third term of Barack Obama. Great to have you with us, gentlemen. More to come here on Newsmax now. Kimberly Strassel will be with us to talk about her new book.